So, welcome back, Texas. So, okay, get excited. I am so thrilled about our next guest. Most of you know him as Beyonce's longtime stylist since way back when with Destiny's Child. Celebrity stylist Ty Hunter is in the building, bringing the heat with his new memoir. It's called Makeover from Within: Lessons in Hardship, Acceptance, and Self Discovery. And also, you guys, Beyonce. Okay, she wrote the foreword. Yes, get the book. We can't wait to all get the book. I actually have a copy here that Ty sent. Ty, welcome to the Connect Network TV.
Oh, thank you for having me, ladies. You all look so beautiful. Texas got the beautiful women, of course.
Oh my goodness, Ty, we are so excited you're here. You look amazing too. We said this
Thank
earlier,
you.
but man, you really live up to your reputation just from
Thank
this
you.
book and from the way you look and carry yourself. It truly is just such an inspiration. I know that this book is a tell-all. I can't wait to read it. I want to get on the internet, get on my phone right now and order it while we're on the
Please
show.
do. We won't bestseller.
Yes, of course. But we really want to jump into this. It's so
Okay.
powerful and inspiring. But before we kind of touch on those 18 years as Beyonce stylist, take us back to the beginning before you were discovered by Mama Tina. Can you please tell us how it was growing up here in Austin? Could you have ever imagined this type of life? And was styling always in your blood?
I was born always into fashion. I never thought it would be my passion where I would get paid for it. But, growing up, I was best dressed in school. People would always get me to help them to go shopping. My family, the ladies and the guys, would be like, just you go with this. Everybody always wanted my opinion. So for it to become something, I was getting prepped for this and didn't know it because I ended up in the medical school. I used to work at a place called Carbometic Implants in Austin, and I used to sit under a microscope and work on artificial heart valves, believe it or not. And so to go from that to where I am today, I never could imagine.
Today, you are living your life, your very best life, okay, might I add, as a gay man. And you're a father. You have a beautiful daughter, grown up girl now, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, hey treasure girl, hey girl, so cute. And she came about with your longtime girlfriend, Drea. I learned all of these stories in the book. That's why you've got to get the book. And we're not going to get into all of the things. There's so much
Yes.
good stuff you shared. But I'm curious, the pregnancy was planned. So
Yeah.
at that time in your life, did
Yeah.
you think deep down you had different
I-
thoughts
you know,
about
I
your
can be
sexuality?
I can be very transparent and honest. I was late to the party. I lost my virginity at 21, had my daughter at
Yes.
22. My first gay experience was at 22. We were ready to have a child because I was making good money, and my mom had me at 19, and I loved our relationship, and I wanted to grow and not be too old with my child, and just
Yeah.
to have the same bond that me and my mom have. And so in the process of planning to have a child and then the little breakup, then my experiments with the gay life, and then a couple of months into that world, my baby's mom called and said, we did it, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's where the roller coaster takes place in my book.
And it is good. So this is so good. And the last question I'm going to ask you kind of about, this time in your life, and you touched on it, and that is the fact that you were a virgin for a long time. And I want to give you a round of applause for that. So, another interesting piece in the book was the sexual assault. I was surprised to learn that too, because you actually lost your virginity in, not the way you would have hoped to. And when we think of sexual assault, a lot of times we hear women and their perspective, and they're talking about what a man did to them. But you had an experience of your own that you share in the book, that was actually committed by a woman. So if you don't mind touching on that, we can't give it all away. There's so much more, I promise. But that was interesting, Ty, because I don't think a lot of people consider or acknowledge that that happens to men.
Yeah, it was awful actually. As I got older, and I was such a nerd growing up, and then
A handsome nerd, though.
thank
Handsome.
you.
So
So,
cute.
once I got to like high school and started, playing with fashion more,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of girls that were considered sisters. We call each other sister and brother. Then they started liking me. Even when I started working at my company, the heart valve company, you know, certain women who looked at me as a younger brother started flirting and stuff like that. So things started adjust like turning to weird things. And my one good friend, she asked me to pick her up from the laundromat, and she was there with two other friends, and I was about this big, and they manhandled me and took my keys to my car and pushed me into the restroom in the laundromat and took my clothes off. And of course, me being a virgin, you know, the thing did what it did, but it was very, very disgusting. And, you know, and she ended up having sex with me. And
Mm.
me being a man, I couldn't use force. I did a lot of pushing and stuff, but I just finally just let it happen just to get it over with. And so it became a horrible thing. And I kept that secret to myself. And when I finally felt the courage to talk about it, um, I was looked upon as, yeah, man, that's great. Three girls, da da da. Like it was a whole different
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that
Bless your
happened.
heart. I love that you share that. And what's crazy is that you never talked to her since.
No.
Yeah, I've been molested as well. And man, hearing your heart and hearing the story, it's the same, like it's a spiritual attack on your life and on your purpose and your identity, going back to identity. And the
Hmm.
fact that you had the courage to walk away and say no more,
Thank
you
you.
are like a warrior. Like, here we go,
For
identity
real.
warrior. And so
Thank
we're switching gears a little bit and we're going to get into developing and building your brand, which you have done such an incredible job on. And it all started when you were working at the Galleria Mall in Houston, my town. Hey. And that's where you met Tina Knowles. You never know
yeah.
who you're gonna meet.
Mm.
You always have to be kind. And
That's
so I love that. And she told you that she was gonna get you out of the mall one day, and she did.
mm.
And one day you just gave her a call. Tell us about that day because you weren't feeling too good about yourself, but you had courage and you took a chance.
Yeah, I was dating someone at the time that ended up being a drug addict, and
Mm.
um, they, the drug dealer had a car. My account was down to nothing. He had cleaned out my account, and it was pretty much down to nothing. And um, I was walking to work, which was a little ways, and I would ride a bicycle to work sometimes. I had a day off, and I needed that day off because I was working a lot during this time, but I called Miss Tina. Something just said call her, and I called her, and I was like, Miss Tina, how you doing? I'm just saying if you need any help today. And she was like, yes, baby, I need help. She was like,
Okay.
meet me here, and I met her at Jaime's, who was the person who brought her sketches to life that she worked with, and the rest is history. I immediately started working on the Survivor video and the Grammys.
Man, straight like
Yeah,
that.
straight like
So
that.
cool, Ty. Super cool. So
Thank
tell us, Ty, what was that experience like working with Tina and Destiny's Child?
It's the best thing that ever happened to me. I learned
Mm.
so much. Miss Tina was so nurturing, and being that my mom was in Austin, Texas, which was 4 hours away from Houston, with my driving sometimes three, 2.5. But I,
Yes.
it was the best thing that ever happened to me, for her to just, you know, give me the opportunity and believe in me. And it was a day in the life of Destiny's Child, and all
Yeah.
the girls came in one by one. I had never met Beyonce, but Solange was a little girl. Kelly, I knew her, Michelle. And so everybody came in and they were like, Ty, Ty, Ty. So she saw that I wasn't starstruck, and she's like, I'm going to get you out of here one day. And that's kind of how everything happened.
Tell us something about Beyonce that you can share, because I already know. Um, that you can share that we would just continue to be in awe when it comes to her, because we all know her work ethic. There's so much about her as from the business perspective that people admire, but we hear about her kindness. What are some things about working with her, maybe that you've learned and that you can share with us?
I mean, she is the blueprint. She inspires me. I don't have. I'm just really being honest. A lot of people think that she's just, we're just country people from Texas, and just She's sweet. She's an artist. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
That's interesting. I had no idea that she was an artist, so that's definitely
Okay, that's
something
one.
Same.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
new that I've learned. And you, Ty, have learned to work under pressure. So, what are some of the tips that you could give to the entrepreneurs that are wanting to grow?
And just say believe in your craft and breathe. I know
Mm.
it's breathing is very, very important. I've learned like in the past, just being able to work under pressure just simply by breathing and just know that the show has to go on and it will go on. Just
Mm.
breathe, come up with a solution and make it happen. So simply just step back, breathe, give a moment, take your time because you can't do nothing like this and nervous and frantic. So just learn how to breathe and
Right.
take your time and it's going to work out.
Ty, so good. We have kept you for so long, but I think you're going to stick with us after the break. We need
I
five
will.
or 10 more minutes because
I can't tell Texas no.
Texas, Austin, Texas, stand up. We got a hometown hero in the building, and I'm excited because we have this thing called the E-Spot, Ty. It's our entertainment section of the show, and Camille
Okay.
Power always brings the power. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back.